A rat can squeeze through a hole the size of a quarter. Half an inch, that is how they get into your house. And there's a $5 material that seals every hole permanently. Rats cannot chew through it. They cannot dig around it. Once it is in, they never come back. The CDC recommends this exact method as the #1 way to stop rodents. The pest control industry knows this, but they charge you $1,000 to $13,000. Not to seal the holes, to set bait stations that keep you paying every month while the holes stay open and the rats keep coming back. This is steel wool, hardware cloth, and exclusion. And this is how a $26 billion industry buried the only permanent fix for the oldest pest on Earth. The pest control industry generates $29.7 billion every year. And rodents are the second most common reason Americans call an exterminator. 21 million homes are invaded by rodents every single winter. Here is what happens when you call. Terminix is one of the biggest names in rodent control. Here is what their customers say. One homeowner paid Terminix for rodent work. Terminix never went under the house, never sealed the entry points. The homeowner asked for a $6,089 refund. Terminix denied it. The customer wrote on the BBB, "We had to catch the rodents ourselves." Another customer paid $13,000. $13,000 for a rodent problem. They still had rats. A third spent almost $10,000 since July, plus a recurring $44 monthly charge. The rats never left. And a 73-year-old woman was charged $3,830 by Terminix for a rodent issue. The service report showed they treated her house for spiders. They refunded $862 out of $3,930. This is not pest control. This is a business model built on failure. And the reason is simple. Sealing holes is a one-time fix. You seal the holes once, the rats stop, forever. No monthly contract, no quarterly visit, no recurring revenue. That is why they sell you bait stations. Poison kills individual rats, but it does not close the door. New rats follow scent trails right back inside. It is a revolving door, and every rotation costs you money. But here is where the real story begins. Because exclusion is not new, it is ancient. For centuries, humans controlled rats with one method. They blocked them. Medieval granaries were built on saddle stones, mushroom-shaped stone pedestals that lifted grain stores off the ground. Rats could not climb the smooth stone. Ships used metal rat guards on mooring lines for hundreds of years. No poison, no traps, no chemicals, physical barriers, period. For centuries, this worked, because the logic is simple. If the rat cannot get in, the rat cannot eat your food. The rat cannot chew your wires. The rat cannot nest in your walls. The CDC and the USDA codified this exact approach in their guidelines. Steel wool, caulk, hardware cloth, seal every opening larger than a quarter. This has been the official recommendation for decades. Then, in 1948, everything changed. Warfarin was commercialized as the first anticoagulant rat poison, and the pest control industry realized something that would change its business model forever. Poison could be sold every month, every quarter, every year. A sealed hole could not. Exclusion was a one-time transaction. Poison was a subscription. And from that moment forward, the pest control industry made a choice. They stopped sealing holes. They started selling poison, not because poison was more effective, because poison was more profitable. Warfarin was just the beginning. In the 1970s, second-generation anticoagulant rodenticides arrived. Brodifacoum, bromadiolone, stronger, deadlier, and far more profitable, but they came with a price that nobody talks about. When a poisoned rat dies outdoors, owls eat it, hawks eat it, foxes eat it, your dog eats it. The poison moves up the food chain. Secondary poisoning has been documented in raptors across the entire country. And inside your house, poisoned rats crawl into your walls. They die there, and they decompose for 2 to 4 weeks. The smell is unbearable. The flies are worse, and it costs $150 to $500 to cut open a wall and remove one. Meanwhile, rats are developing resistance to the very poisons being sold to you. Documented resistance to first and second-generation anticoagulants. The chemicals are failing. The industry keeps selling them, and the CDC never changed its position. Exclusion is still the #1 recommended method. It always was. They buried it anyway. But this video barely scratches the surface of what they have buried. I spent months gathering every suppressed rodent control method, every exclusion protocol, every guide. All of it is inside the buried pest vault. The $15 mouse-proof home guide, the home inspection checklist, when to call a pro decision tree, the product guide with 15 essentials, 9 complete guides, 0 filler, every page built for immediate action. The link is in the description right now, but stay here, because the science on rat exclusion is about to end every argument. Now let me show you the science, because the rat crisis is not slowing down, it is accelerating. In January 2025, a landmark study was published in Science Advances. 19 researchers across multiple countries. They tracked rat populations in 16 major cities over 12 years. The result? 11 of 16 cities showed significant increases. Washington, D.C. saw a 390% rise. San Francisco, 300%. New York City, 162%. The study linked the growth to climate warming and urbanization. Warmer winters mean rats breed longer. More construction means more entry points. And here is why this matters to you. A single pair of rats can produce 1,250 offspring in 1 year. 6 litters, 12 pups each. Sexual maturity in 5 weeks. The math is terrifying, and their teeth never stop growing. Rat incisors grow continuously. They must gnaw to keep them filed down. They can chew through wood, through drywall, through aluminum, through soft concrete, through vinyl siding. But they cannot chew through steel wool. They cannot chew through stainless steel. They cannot chew through hardware cloth. That is the science behind exclusion. It is not a trick. It is material science. The material is harder than their teeth. $5 of steel stops $27 billion of annual rat damage. And the damage is not just property. Rats transmit over 35 diseases to humans. Leptospirosis, hantavirus, salmonella, rat bite fever, murine typhus. In New York City, leptospirosis cases hit a record 24 in 2023. The historical average was 3 per year. Hantavirus kills 38% of patients with severe symptoms. Rats contaminate food. They chew through electrical wiring, and that wiring causes fires. Up to 25% of house fires with undetermined causes are linked to rodent damage. Now, here's the part the industry will never explain to you. There are 2 types of rats in America. Norway rats live at ground level. They enter through foundation cracks, crawl space vents, and gaps under doors. Roof rats are climbers. They enter through soffits, gable vents, and where utility lines meet the roof line. If you treat for the wrong species at the wrong height, you seal nothing. The professional who shows up for 20 minutes and drops bait stations on your floor does not care which species you have, because the bait does not seal the foundation crack. It does not close the soffit gap. It does not block the pipe penetration. Only exclusion does that, and it lasts forever. If you have made it this far, you now know more about rat control than 99% of homeowners paying $1,000 for a service that never seals the holes. Subscribe and share this with someone who just found droppings in their kitchen. Everything the pest industry buried is inside the vault. 9 guides, link in the description. Now stay with me, because I'm about to give you the complete room-by-room exclusion map. Every hole, every material, every step, for under $100. Here is the complete exclusion protocol. You need 5 things. Product 1, excluder, stainless steel wool fill fabric, 4-inch by 5-foot roll, $21 at Home Depot. This is not regular steel wool. Regular steel wool rusts in months. Excluder is stainless steel and polyfiber. It will not rust. It will not corrode. Rats cannot chew through it. Product 2, 1/4-inch galvanized hardware cloth, 2-foot by 5-foot roll, $17 at Home Depot, for covering larger openings like vents and crawl space access points. 1/4-inch mesh, not 1/2-inch. 1/2-inch lets juvenile rats through. Product 3, Great Stuff Pest Block expanding foam, 12-ounce can, about $10. It contains a bittering agent that deters gnawing. Use it as a top coat over steel wool. Never use foam alone. Rats chew through regular foam in minutes. Product 4, Victor Snap Traps, 12-pack, about $15 at Home Depot or Amazon for catching the rats already inside after you seal the house. Product 5, exterior silicone caulk and a caulk gun, about $15 total for finishing every seal. Total cost, about $83. That seals 10 to 15 entry points, about $5 per hole. Now, here's the inspection. Do this at dusk with a flashlight. Start outside. Walk the entire foundation. Every crack wider than a 1/4-inch gets marked with tape. Check where pipes enter the wall. Check where the dryer vent exits. Check the garage door corners. Check the AC line set. Penetration. Check every soffit and gable vent. If you have roof rats, check the roof line where any branch touches the house. Now go inside. Check under every sink where pipes enter the wall. Behind the stove, behind the refrigerator, the attic, the utility closet. Any gap larger than a 1/4 gets sealed. Here's how to seal. For small holes, pack excluder deep inside. Push it tight with a screwdriver. Spray pest block foam over the top. Let it cure. Trim the excess. For pipe penetrations, wrap excluder around the pipe at the wall. Caulk the seam. For vents, cut hardware cloth to size. Screw it over the opening. Do not use staples. Rats pull staples out. Now set your traps. Snap traps along walls 5 to 10 feet apart. Bait with peanut butter. Check daily. Reset until 0 catches for 7 straight days. Then clean the scent trails. Enzymatic cleaner on floors and baseboards. Not bleach. Bleach does not break down the pheromone markers rats leave behind. Wear gloves and an N95 mask when cleaning droppings. The number one mistake, using poison instead of sealing. Poison kills the rat. The hole stays open. The next rat walks right in. Now the math. $83 for the complete exclusion kit. 1 weekend of your time. Terminix charges $1,000 to $13,000. And most of that never seals a hole. $83 versus $13,000. Your $83 fix is permanent. Their contract renews until you cancel. And the rats? They never come back. That is what a $26 billion industry does not want you to know. They did not bury the fix because it stopped working. They buried it because it worked once and never needed to be sold again. A sealed hole does not generate recurring revenue. A bait station does. That is the entire business model. And now you know how to end it. $83 of materials, 1 weekend with a flashlight and a screwdriver. And the problem that cost Americans $27 billion a year has a permanent solution. Every share of this video teaches someone to seal instead of poison. Every subscription keeps this vault open. The complete buried pest vault, 9 guides, everything they buried, link in the description. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is a $5 powder that kills 95% of cockroaches. The most effective roach killer ever tested, buried since 1948. We just dug it up.